Remember friends, Netflix and chill is just a D away from Netflix and child, so don't get too comfortable out there. Today I decided I would hunt for a tribe called Booty Sniffers, and after a long search I can gladly say, I'm about as useless at tracking people as Stevie Wonder would be. Instead of finding them however, I found some ARC tribe, literally that's their name. Unfortunately for them I noticed two things: one, they were online, meaning it was a much more fun target, and B, smelling glue sticks before a long gaming session makes you take terrible choices. And by that I mean I could have let them build up more than this, but no, Mr. No Patience over here had to come over and make a MTV Cribs episode. Anyway, as you could see, we walked up to their wall quite easily, the reason mostly being that they spent all their time making the turrets instead of the ammunition. Basically they're about as smart as the Russians when it comes to planning an offensive wall. Once the wall was officially down I thought to myself, might as well just charge in because planning is for the dumb anyway. Mr. Jimmy Jones the Stego and his feline friend however did not feel like that was a good idea at all, standing there like two rabies-infected hell spawns. There and then I made the difficult decision of euthanizing one of them in an attempt of containing the rabies spread, but to do so I needed my handy-dandy harpoon net gun, which I moved over to my quick hotkey bar at the speed of a dying autistic person. Using the same method as you would in a retirement home or at a veterinarian clinic, I proceeded to commence putting the creature to peaceful sleep. And of course by that I mean I gave it only the best kind of treatment with a tool that apparently needed to be painfully long. So enjoy watching while I slowly murder this beautiful creature to death in an agonizing pace. Seriously, this is what happens guys when you pump health points in the dinosaurs, they die slowly. Eventually they will all die, at least skip the HP part and just let them go quickly, freaking savages. Next I figured I would make a run past the slower rabies wanderer, but little did I know, he would have a chunky twin right behind him, making him extra motivated to not die. Unexpectedly I noticed some random smacks flogging my armor. It was one of the retirement home people that had managed to escape their bedroom after hours. We quickly put him back to sleep. Typical old no-neck Larry, always up to no good. Anyway, now that I knew there were enough wild dinosaurs in here to restart John Hammond's Jurassic Park safari, I figured it might just be easier to net gun everything that can't hurt me too badly and make a spring for it, aka leg it like a white girl looking for pumpkin spiced lattes. Feeling the surge of violence coursing through my veins, I could tell that the feline steroid cat was actively avoiding confrontation. And needlessly I took this as an invitation to chase him down in the cave, only to quickly become defeated by my biggest weakness. A super fun distraction. Listen, if you can bounce on a thing, you bounce on the thing. Don't you dare question my methods. Speaking of methods, looky, we found the retirement home's main headquarters. Being a stand-up citizen, I knew most of this was most likely stolen contraband taken by the old people, so I started placing adult Play-Doh all over the floor in hopes to remove any criminal evidence, since you know old people will straight up run prisons from the inside if you let them. Old people got crazy charisma, that's all I'm saying. Apparently this triggered something inside of the kitty cat that hated confrontation. It could be because he knew the catnip was stashed in one of those Play-Doh covered boxes, or it could be for another reason. Point is, he came, and surprise, on top of the cat there was an elderly nudist. Being more athletic than most, the old man legged it fast when realizing his attempt to stop us didn't pan out like planned. Being fueled on a bit of anger, I decided I better euthanize the remaining kitty so that he can't create more chaos. Let me tell you, this was one of my better ideas at this point in time. The amount of times I have found myself regretting putting something down is beyond my ability to count. So probably more than 2 times. Oh good, one of the Stegos learned how to use the jumping pad. What did I tell you guys about regretting not putting some things down? By the way, I blew up the Play-Doh. If you didn't notice, I was hoping to catch the sneaky little nudist that ran earlier, but apparently he was smart enough not to stand on any of the explosives. The Stego gave me a quick and impressive handjob from his tail. Luckily I still had ammunition in my net gun to deal with the situation before it got out of hand. So there I was thinking that the worst was over, but nope, out comes Puff the Magic Dragon spitting his problems right at my face. I waited for a clear shot and blasted the net gun at him. When he went down I recommenced with the euthanization process, but Puff the Magic Dragon was tankier than most, and part of me really wanted to use some of the C4 that I was carrying. Plus I knew that somewhere in the orgy pile of dead bodies and tied up bondage dinosaurs was a nudist trapped. I knew this because inside of the pile I heard a chainsaw going nuts. Not wanting to leave the murder to the unprofessional, I took the matter into my own hands, and like a real pro I opted to run while blowing up the bomb, mostly because I saw someone in Power Rangers do it when I was small, and who doesn't want a rocket like Power Rangers? That freaking guy is still alive. Then who did I just murder? I guess no one will know or care once I dispose of the bodies. In an attempt of dealing with the sneaky man, I shot a rocket behind the vaults. His friend the Kentucky Fried Chicken apparently did not approve of this, so there it was my next problem. I missed my shot at the Argentavis first, but luckily got a second shot in directly after, making it crash in an elegant fashion, however somehow blocking my path. I jumped over it, and what do you know, the nudist was out tossing sleeping cryosick dinos, rather sleeping or dead than in my hands I guess. I decided to put the nudist back to sleep, and while I was at it I felt like introducing murder to the rest of the remaining creatures. My methods got a bit mixed up, but for the most part it involved tickles and cuddles, and that's all you need to know. Meanwhile this is going on, I think it's a good time for me to give you some life advice. I know that's exactly the reason why you show up to this channel, and that's okay, you don't need to sugarcoat it with me. Well, here it is: don't have sex with rich people, they're selfish lovers. Rich people ain't given head since the French Revolution. Don't worry friends, I got more sage advice. Oh, how about this one? At least 10% of all divorces can be avoided by buying a bigger blanket. I'm looking at you heartless wank stains out there. Last one. Tinder is the opposite of a porn site advertisement. There actually are a ton of hot singles in my area, but none of them are interested in me. Well, the last one was more a cry for emotional support. Didn't like it? Fine, how about this one? Things that are only fun when it's your turn. 1. Karaoke. 2. Mini golf. 3. Funerals. Yeah, I'm gonna let this be my advice for the day. You're welcome, lunatics. Now that we can calm down from the murders, let's check out if the nudist was holding onto any cryopods. Well, would you look at that? A bunch of completely useless dinosaurs I will most likely never use. Happy days all around. Well, wyverns can always be handy at some point, but the rest are more or less just going to be used for raw meat. Taking a moment to look around, I slowly noticed the piles of corpses covering the room. And in moments like these it feels like a good time to remind everyone to stay hydrated and take care of yourselves. And mostly because this episode is basically over, and thus I am going to let our dear friend Ryan Reynolds say the goodbye speech. Enjoy, lunatics.
Gentlemen, how well do you know your happy sack? I'm sure you rummage around downstairs more than Mommy would like, but it's time you started paying attention to your favorite pastime, because that bag of beans bouncing around in your hand could be trying to kill you. What? Yeah, because testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer in men aged between 15 and 35. It's time to fight back. Hold each of your manberries, or as I like to call them, smooth criminals, in turn between your thumb and fingers. Give them a gentle roll around. Don't get too excited though. You're on a mission here. You also need to check the tubes around the back. That's the spermatic cord and epididymis, but I'm sure you knew that. If at any point you feel an unusual lump, size shift, or irregularity, don't ignore it like a pussy. Man up and talk to your doctor. The alternative is not an option. Check those bad boys at least once a month after a bath or shower, so the next time you're shopping for one in the sexy salad section, remember to tweak the tomatoes before you go cucumber crazy. Haha, puns.
Hashtag touch yourself tonight.
Listen, I'm not saying you have to do this, but you know what else are you going to do tonight? Don't act like you're not a wild case serial masturbator anyway. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And I wish a good day to everyone except the Lisas and Jimmys out there in the world. No special reason, just decided today we don't like those people. See you in the next one.